What is outstanding about the economic situation in Australia now and in the future?
The Australian economy is currently very buoyant. Like Vietnam, we were coming out of COVID, and it's strong, very strong. However, importantly, it depends on the industry sector. In the construction industry, if you're a worker in the construction, we don't have enough people, and hospitality, not enough people. So you'd have to say across the board, the economic conditions for Vietnamese trained people is good. Long term, with the mining boom and the current housing boom, you'd have to say in the near term, over the 5 to 10 years, economic conditions are going to remain strong, just like Vietnam. I think there's parallels between the two countries, and what is strong here is probably strong in Australia in the professions.
What is the current Australian job market like?
I think the Australian job market is very, very buoyant. There are certainly lots of jobs going in the hospitality industry, in aged care, and in what we would call domestic services. So if you have a skill at the moment, you can get a job in Australia.
Do Vietnamese international students who come to Australia have many part-time jobs?
Yes, they do. And where I live in Adelaide, for example, I live in what's called Chinatown, and I think every restaurant or business has a sign, staff wanted. So staff is waitresses and people in the kitchen, and yeah, I'd say there are plenty of jobs.
Yes.
I think if you came to Australia, you came to Adelaide, I'd get you a job in 1 hour.
Okay.
Okay? I think there are plenty.
Are there high job opportunities for international vocational students after graduating in Australia?
Yes, there are many, many opportunities. The difficulty, as you'd appreciate, is getting the right visa. I don't know enough about the visas, but certainly unions would know what the situation is, or Ben's choice. But the point is, in those industry sectors, like hospitality, aged care, for example, and so on, there are jobs there. So if there's a job there, it's going to be easy to get a visa. Away you go. So for part-time work and the students, they're all working.
Yes.
In Adelaide, so
yes.
it's everywhere. Yeah.
When coming to Australia, what skills should international students equip to advance to have more job opportunities?
I think the most important thing is obviously English language skills. You've got to have good communication skills.
Yes.
Also, Vietnamese people by nature are not outgoing. In Australia, they're more outgoing, okay? So I think it's important for the students to get a bit of confidence, and when they go for that job, and if they have good communication skills, I think they'll get the job, because in Australia, everyone knows Vietnamese people work hard. They're honest, trustworthy, and they respect people. So these are ideal employees. So for a part-time employee, Vietnamese people are ideal, but it's the language is the big issue.
Okay. And what policies does Australia currently have to attract Vietnamese students to study abroad and work in Australia?
Okay. I think the important thing is that the Australian people want students from Vietnam, and there are a number of schemes that are going to attract Vietnamese students. And then, of course, once they get those skills, once they get the education, then they're going to be able to have the opportunity of getting a job. And I think that's important. Critically though, it's just as important for the Vietnamese students to identify what sectors they want to work in. Because if you can identify what area, if you want to work in hospitality, for example, or if you want to work in the wine industry, then opportunities will come up out of that.